My smoke detector won't stop chirping, work is annoying, so obviously let's diamond paint. Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to the Unfinished Projects Club. If you are new here, hello, my name is Jen. This channel is all about unfinished projects, rotating hobbies, doing what we can, when we can, no pressure to be productive. So grab a project, your drink, or just listen along. Whoa, that's really sticky. We're starting off strong here, folks. So if you watched my most recent monthly wrap-up, you saw that I had started this canvas and that I wanted to get it finished. So here we are. I have pieces of the canvas stuck to itself. As you can see, it frayed. It's all good. So how are we all doing? Hopefully well. It's been an interesting time here. Always, fun and good times in the Unfinished Projects Clubhouse. Whoa. I had my son here last weekend. I think I discussed that already though. And he will be coming home again this weekend for Easter break. Nothing like mom and dad having to drive back and forth all the time. Oh, it's fun, especially at the price of gas these days, Now, I've been trying to be all fancy and just picking up a bunch of drills in my multi-placer and placing them. I'm getting better at it, folks. You see what I just did there? I am getting better at it. Now, I also discovered, like in this case, because they don't line up perfectly, that in this tray, if I pick them up and down instead of in the line, they space out a little bit better on the putty and I'm able to finagle. I'm sure this is not a new discovery. I'm sure a lot of you know this method, but for me, it was like, hey, look what I figured out. But anyway, see there I kind of screwed up. Not terribly though. Anything to make this single placing go by a little bit less tediously. I get bored single placing. And it's funny because when I first started diamond painting many, many moons ago, I thought the only real and true way to diamond paint was the single place. I thought multi-placing was cheating. Oh, how I have learned the error of my ways. But anyway, so yeah, things have been fun around here. I had a fun evening the other night. So tell me, folks, have any of you seen the Friends episode? I'm a lover of all things Friends. That is my favorite show ever. If I haven't brought that up yet, it's amazing, but I love Friends. But anyway, have any of you ever seen the Friends episode where the smoke detector goes off at night at Phoebe's apartment and she can't get it to stop? That was us the other night. Oh, yes. I laid in bed thinking, oh my God, my life is a Friends episode. So, yeah, it started going off around 2 in the morning. The one upstairs in the hallway outside of all the bedrooms. It was just us and Floof here, but still, it woke everyone up. I could hear Floof get up. He opened his door and then closed it back. He's like, closes it in disgust and tries to go back to sleep. And he was so funny about it the next morning. He goes, I was all snuggly in my bed, sleeping, and then it went off and woke me up. Like, yeah, tell me about it. So it went off. So we're, the normal, oh, needs to change the battery. Okay, cool. Let's go change the battery. Well, guess what? That didn't stop it. No, it did not. We changed the battery, laid back down, and about 20 minutes later, it started chirping again. So literally, my life was a Friends episode. I'm like, oh my God. I thought, well, maybe it's not a good battery. Maybe it's old. Went down and found, no, actually, no, at that point, no. We did not go down and find another one. But I'm like, well, maybe we just take the battery out. Because they're all hardwired into the house these days. I mean, I know the battery's there as a backup in case you lose power. But it was chirping like every minute. It was really annoying. So tried to take the battery out. It was still chirping. Hit the test button thinking, well, maybe I need to hit this to reset it. No, all that did was make all the other ones in the house go off. It's like, oh no, oh no. I mean, we were fiddling with this thing for at least an hour. Every time we thought we got it, because every time you did something, it would stop chirping for 10, 15 minutes. So it like lulled you into a false sense of security. And I very much felt that Friends episode at that point. Like, I want to rip this thing off and throw it out and be done with it. Safety be damned. But this is why people don't have working smoke detectors in their house, by the way. But no, obviously we didn't. We were all able to eventually fall back asleep. I think it did stop for a little while, but it started back up again when my husband woke up to go to work the next morning. So like the last couple of hours of what would have been my night, I could hear it chirping. It was like, all right, I'm up. Screw this. So yeah, it was not fun. And then the next morning, when I came downstairs, I'm like, well, let me see if I can find another battery. And I found a new, well, it was still in the package. I don't know how long we've had it for, but I found an Energizer, like a good battery, not like Amazon brand, So I'm like, oh yes. If this doesn't do it, nothing will. So I went up, I changed it, messaged my husband at work. I'm like, I found an Energizer, so hopefully that'll do the trick. And he's like, good, cool, let me know. And I'm like, so far so good. And again, it was lulling me into that false sense of security because about 5 minutes later, it started chirping again. I'm like, oh, you son of a bee. I was swearing up and down at this thing all night long, let me tell you. I'm like, all right, that's not it. So, smoke detectors apparently don't last forever. You get maybe a good 10 years out of them, apparently. This house was built 8 years ago, and these were the smoke detectors put in when the house was built. So I guess that means it was time. And that also means we do have this lovely thing to look forward to, that all the other smoke detectors in the house are going to systematically die. So we removed it. We're going to get a new one, obviously. But yeah, we figured out what model we need. We will get a new one. We figured out how it would get wired in and all of that fun stuff. So yeah, solves the chirping at least, because let me tell you, the other day when I'm home with this thing, because I worked from home that day, even all the way downstairs, listening to it chirp all day long, I'm like, okay, I'm going to kill it. Oops. See, I'm still learning the fancy ways, folks. I'll throw you over there. And I am sorry if I didn't properly introduce this project. This is Hello Spring from Addison Lane Designs. Like I said, I did previously have done Hello Winter, cut it all out, put it in the frame, it was on my mantle, but you know, winter's over. It's time to put that shite away, right? Right. So it's time for spring. I'm ready for spring. So I've been working on getting her done. It's long. It takes me longer because again, there's a lot of single placing. I'm using the pen I've been using. I think I used these when I did this one and when I did my 80s mini dazzle. This came from Amazon. And these are threaded tips. These are tips it came with. I really like the single placer. It's nice and narrow. I want to get a set of the newly redesigned cat-eared design ones. Those look really nice and narrow too. I like a narrow single placer. And then this is a nice multi-placer. It reminds me of a Diamond Art Club. But again, it came with this pen. They're threaded. And it's a nice size pen for me. I don't have very big hands. Some of the really chunky pens bother me sometimes. So I like this. There's a few other colors of this brand on Amazon that I'm going to want to try and get. And then in my pen, I have glue dots in my single placer and Black Dahlia Diamond Art putty in my multi-placer. Although that is getting sticky, which means I've discovered with Black Dahlia, when the putty gets sticky, it's getting time to change it. But I really just want to finish out this canvas without worrying about changing my putty. Now, if it gets annoying enough, I will. But I like Black Dahlia. I've mentioned this before. It doesn't stick to the canvas. Because I have a bad habit. I'm always touching the canvas with my pen. And so far, I have had very good luck with not having to try and pick a bunch of putty off the canvas when I do it. So yeah, I've been using more Black Dahlia lately. That and it smells gorgeous. I love their scents. There was a point in time when I was working on my own putty recipe, because that's what I do, which is what I wanted. I wanted to accomplish that goal of putty not sticking to the canvas. So I have found putty that does that. Will I continue to maybe one day work on my own putty recipe? Perhaps. Perhaps. I have all the stuff because I still have it from my days as a soap maker, body care product maker. I have tons of fragrance oils, and they're still good. So I was just, for me, it was like a way to use them on something that I'm currently using a lot of. So I might try again. Give it the good old college try, as they say. We'll see. right now I've been happy with this, and last thing I need to do is set my mind to yet another project. So life has gotten a bit back to normal around here. Floof's play is done, so we don't have the out until 7, 8 o'clock at night days anymore. He's been getting out at normal time, just the one day a week when he has an after school club, he stays later, which is fine. And as happy as I am about that, it is going to be a pain eventually again, because I have a training class coming up in a couple weeks. And if y'all remember, that changes my work schedule. I'm not done training for the day until 5:30 at night. So I can't go and get him at 3:30 when he gets out of school. So there's lots of changes coming up with work. I work hybrid. Currently, oh, come on now. Currently, our hybrid expectation, and it's been like this for the past year or so, I think, is to report 2 days a week to our office. My particular job is virtual. Everything I do is virtual. The people that I train are 95% of the time not in person. In the almost 5 years that I've been there, I have trained 4 in-person classes, 5 maybe. Yeah, like 4 or 5 in-person classes. The rest have been virtual. So going in is kind of silly, pointless, only because they want us to, you know? And most of us feel that way. We were actually, I had to go in the other day we had a breakfast for our team. Like stuff like that, yes, obviously, I'll go in and do team bonding stuff and whatnot. But just to go in and sit at the computer and do exactly what I do at home annoys me. Especially when it causes me to have to rearrange everything. Because now I have to see if my ex can drive my son to school in the mornings. And what's going to happen, and I'm stuck at work, and he's done for the day. He's going to have to wait at school for however long. And on days when my ex can't bring him, but yeah, I have to go in, I have to get him to school like an hour ahead of time. They don't let them in the building. I mean, yes, it's spring, so at least it's not in the middle of winter. But that means I'm dropping him off like an hour before school starts. If he was a little one, that would be completely unacceptable. I wouldn't be able to do that. Thankfully, he's 17, but so I stress about these things. I have been stressing a lot. I do get migraines and have anxiety, and unfortunately, it's just kind of been increasing that just because I'm stressing about this. So it's just been making it kind of hard. Working on what I can do about that. I, in the past, have had a medical accommodation for my migraines because sometimes the lights at work cause an increase in my migraines. And for year or so, they did grant that accommodation to me, reduce the number of days that I had to go in, because I can control my lighting and stuff at home, just turn off the lights. The last time I went to go renew my accommodation, they did deny it, because at the time I happened to be in the middle of one of the very few in-person classes, and they could not grant me an accommodation that would cause me to not be able to do my job. So I am going to try and revisit that. Maybe I can get something to work out. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I actually had an interview the other day with not my workplace. Probably not a position that will work out for me. But I took the interview because, I could always use the practice interviewing. I'm not a good interview. I get very nervous. So I could always use the practice interviewing. So I took the interview, and just, you never know. Maybe it'll just get my name out there at this other place. It's actually my husband's workplace. And yes, I would be able to work there, just not on his team, obviously. And this is for a position that is very much not on his team. It's in a completely different building. So, problem is that it's an entry-level position, which for me, in the place where I have been mentally, I hate to say it like that, but just lately I've been getting burnt out, So where I have been mentally lately, an entry level, kind of tedious at times job sounds good, but that comes with, entry level pay. So, which that's a pay cut I can't take. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not hopeful. It'd be nice to just have a change, to not have to train. Because I've mentioned before, I've been teaching and training for so long that, oh no, I got fuzzies on this sticky part. I should have lined this with washi tape. Oh no. I've been teaching and training for so long that I'm kind of ready to move on from that. It's just hard to be on like that all the time. And this probably goes back to my anxiety and all of that. Kind of been on the increase lately. I've noticed I've been clenching my jaw a lot. Not at night, in the middle of the day. Don't know I'm doing it until I'm giving myself a headache. So, yeah. Got some things that I need to work out, don't I? So I'll keep you updated there. I am always applying for other positions at my current job, too. An internal move theoretically would be easier. But it's a bigger company, and you are in a very, it's very competitive to find it, to move around internally there, just because everybody's trying to move around internally. So, come on. OMG. Part of this is due to the fact that this putty's getting sticky. I'm just moving this a little bit. I'm trying not to stick my sleeve into the excess sticky. So what projects are you working on this week? Starting anything new? I obviously want to get this done. I'm trying to recommit to my cross stitch project this week. If you watched my wrap up video, I want to do something called the Daily 30 with it, which is me just making sure I'm sitting down and stitching on it for 30 minutes a day. It doesn't sound like a lot, but you know what? It adds up. And progress is progress, right? Getting that pop. Lovely. Still dealing with the mailbox drama. The mailbox I bought has been delivered. I have not had the opportunity to talk to them to see how they want to move forward. I actually, quite honestly, since this is not something I do all the time, hitting people's mailboxes, I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to address it. I mean, do I just message them and be like, hey, okay, so installation, am I arranging that? Are you? Like, I feel like an idiot. I don't know how to address it with them. So I need to do that. I'm going to get that finished up and off of my plate. But yes, the very expensive mailbox did make its way to them last week. That I know for sure. I was keeping track of that delivery, you can betcha. I was a good girl. I sent in for my renewed passport with my name change on it. Finally. Passports are expensive these days, y'all. I had to pay $130 for that. Our next thing we gotta do is get my older college son a passport because his marching band is going to Rome to play in, they were invited to play in their New Year's Day parade. Isn't that exciting? How's this looking so far, y'all? This white takes a while. Probably shouldn't have started with white with you all, but I kind of like doing the background first. So yeah, coming up this week, like I said, I'm going to work on this. I need to prep to film Stitches to Sparkle to show you all how to prepare pages to diamond paint. And next week's Whip and Chat will hopefully, crossing fingers, be me actually finally working on this project. You've seen me do another project following the same method. When I worked on my Molly Harrison Escape to the Moon a little while back, that is also a Stitches to Sparkle method project. It's just not the one I'm using to demonstrate the whole method to you. I started it before. So I wanted to have a new one to start so I could show you how to do it beginning to end. So yes, Glistening Wings is on the agenda for the month. And we'll finally get the opportunity to move forward with that. I'm kind of excited to finally get that going out to show you all. I'm just eager to show you all another way to try a cross stitch conversion. So let's take another look. This is where we have gotten to. I still have to do this part of the background, and then I can fill in the colors. But I think we are going to stop here for now. In the comments below, let me know. What do you think? What did you work on with me? Or did you just listen? Either way, I want to know. I will see you in the next one, which is hopefully Stitches and Sparkle Prep. So make sure you join me. Make sure you subscribe so you can stay informed on new videos. Bye-bye.